In this episode of Travelogue, we go back in time and learn how the returning Chinese contributed to Haikou, get up close with one of the world's most precious woods, visit the world's largest public golf resort, and have a glimpse of Hainan as it was 800 years ago. Welcome to Travelogue. When one thinks of tropical islands, Hawaii, Maldives often tread the mind. But Hainan Island, the southernmost province of China, has so much more to offer apart from its beautiful beaches and rainforests. Here, we'll be able to witness the cultural heritage of the Hainanese and Li minority in this largely untapped and original island. Hainan is definitely an ideal place for physical and mental rejuvenation. We begin our journey in Haikou, where our three teams will set off from the north, heading down to the far south to Sanya along 3 different routes, covering the entire island of Hainan. Greta will whisk you away to explore the eastern part of the island. I'll then take you down the central route to experience its authentic rural tourism. And finally, Tianran will take you along the wild western route, where you'll see Hainan at its most original. Join the 3 of us on Travelogue as we unearth new places and discover the charm of Hainan in our 8-part Hainan series. I'm Kaylee Lam. Welcome to Travelogue and to the Hawaii of China. In the first episode of our Hainan series, we head to Haikou, the capital and most popular city in Hainan. Most people who come to Haikou are merely in transit to the more popular resort city of Sanya. And today I'm here to show you why Haikou shouldn't merely be a place of transit. Haikou, also known as the Coconut City, is ranked the highest in air quality among China's major cities, largely due to its ubiquitous green belts. And Haikou intends to keep this title by attaching great importance to environmental protection. So when you're visiting Haikou, make sure to take time out to just breathe. If you're the kind of traveler who enjoys exploring on foot, you'll find Haikou to be of a manageable size. Some of the streets not to be missed would be the old arcade streets in Haikou, where you'll find buildings with a mixture of Asian and European architecture built by returning Chinese from Southeast Asia in the early 1900s. An arcade is a covered passageway with a succession of arches supported by columns. Standing between 2 and 4 floors in height, it is essentially a building for commercial and residential use. The arcade architecture, with its origins in ancient Greece some 2,000 years ago, found its way to Haikou in the early 1920s through wealthy Chinese merchants returning home from Southeast Asia, once colonized by Europeans. The ground floor, reserved for commercial use, is set halfway back into the building. This allows people to browse through the rows of shops whilst being sheltered from the rain and scorching sun. This used to be Haikou's tallest and most happening area with all sorts of entertainment. And previously, the lower floor used to be restaurants and cafes. Right now, it's all filled with little boutiques. As I stroll along the old arcade streets of Haikou, I come across several Japanese tourists. With the help of a translator, I get to tap into how they feel about one of Haikou's must-visit sites, which has all character, I must say. He says it certainly doesn't feel like he's in the 21st century walking down these streets, and that it gives visitors a taste of Haikou's traditional life. It's true what he says about the feel of this place. What with the many trishaw paddlers still on the road, bicycles and motorcycles thronging the narrow streets, coupled with the area's unique architecture. Some parts of the old arcade area do remind me of Malacca and Penang back home in Malaysia. Coinciding with the creation of these arcades, Haikou became a port with more than a dozen countries establishing their consulates and setting up post offices, churches, as well as banks. Not only is this street architecturally different and of commercial significance, it also shows the overseas Chinese people's deep-rooted love for their homeland. There are many streets in this old arcade area, and each street sells something specialized, such as a street selling solely clothes, a street selling seafood, a street selling antiques. But I was told that on Sundays, there's this one street that sells something uniquely Hainanese, and we've got to check it out tomorrow. It's dinner time, and I'm really curious to see what Haikou has to offer by night. Now, I've been told that this street has got plenty of food kiosks open only at night. So let's go see what they've got. Hey, 这是文昌鸡吗？
文昌鸡。
这怎么卖？
这28。
啊
？28。
28。哇。
就分这些了，你会了，完了，你要一件，你要一半。
If you're interested in checking out Haikou's version of nightlife, you could head to the night market on Panqiao Street, about 2 kilometers away from the old arcade area. It opens at 5 every evening. I'm spoiled for choice. This is where you can find the freshest of seafood, caught just a few kilometers away, since Haikou is situated on the coast. And as you can see, there are a myriad of produce from the sea which are still very much alive and kicking. This place is for those who've missed the morning market and want to come here personally to select what goes on to their dinner plate. Everything's so fresh. 这个我们就是买了，就你们也可以煮吗？还是自己煮的？自己煮。就到那里煮的。Okay. So we can actually buy these stuff here and go to the other side to get it cooked. Very convenient. And this is the other side of the market. Things are so quick and fiery here that it's best not to distract the cooks while they're in their element. Although this place doesn't look like much, many tourists and locals still flock here every night. That goes to show how fresh and delicious the food here is. And I couldn't agree more. Coming up next, we'll get up close and personal with one of the most valuable goods in the world and learn how to swing a golf club like Tiger Woods. We're at a street right by the People's Park of Haikou where they sell all things made out of this special kind of wood that can be found mainly in Hainan. And this place is only open on Sundays. This is Haikou's Huanghuali, or Yellow Rosewood Market. It's the only place in Hainan where you can find this precious yellow rosewood in its most original form. The trees grow in some parts of Southeast Asia, such as Vietnam and Thailand, but the best and most valuable is found here on Hainan Island. 全部都是黄花梨。这个大概有多少年了？100-200年。100-200年呐？100-200年才那么小吗？真的。算好的那种颜色，就是颜色要怎么样？就是深色还是？深色的好了。深色就好。It is said that the finest Huanghuali has a translucent and glossy surface. It's a strong, hardy wood where the grain is clear and beautiful. It's also a very slow-growing tree with a trunk that often curls and twists as it grows, making it hard to find large pieces of huanghuali. That's why the wood is so valuable and left only for the most skilled craftsmen to make anything out of it.
这全部都是海南还是？
全部都是海南的，像这种也是一样，这个是雕这个如意是古老的，最古老的了。
啊，这样我们能不能有看出真假的吗？
闻呢，它有一种香味。
香味。
哎，跟别的那个不一样的。
这样一个多少钱？这样大一个？
这个3000块。3000块。
Very expensive. I'm no expert on huanghuali, but according to a professional, yellow rosewood from Southeast Asia is in a different league compared to what's found in Hainan. It's like comparing rock and jade. It is said that huanghuali wood is so dense that it actually sinks in water. Do try it out and let me know. So I'm all dressed and ready for a session of golf at Mission Hills Haikou. Now this is the world's largest public golf resort where no membership is required. And it is also China's highest rated golf and leisure resort. We'll find out why real soon. Located just 15 minutes from downtown Haikou and Haikou's Meilan International Airport, Mission Hills has hosted the region's most important golf tournaments, including the World Cup of Golf and the Asian Amateur Championship. So that's Mr. Yam. He's a Malaysian friend of mine who's working in Mission Hills Haikou, and he'll be taking us through this one-of-a-kind golf and leisure resort. Let's go. Hi, Mr. Yam.
Hey, Kelly.
Hi, good to see you in Haikou. I'm good.
Okay, are you ready for the next trip?
Yes, I am always ready.
Show you to our world-renowned Blackstone golf course.
Ooh, where all the tournaments are?
Yes.
Cool. So, are you driving?
Yes. Are you ready?
Yep.
Let's go.
Situated in the volcanic region of Haikou, this golf complex featuring 10 18-hole championship courses has won multiple international awards. To add to its accolades, Hank Haney, best known for coaching Tiger Woods, has opened a golf academy here.
Hank Haney Academy. There you are. There's Kyle. Kyle is waiting for us. Hi, Kyle.
Hi.
Thank you for waiting for us. Let me introduce you to Kelly.
Hi.
How are you?
Kelly.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Kyle, all yours, right?
You want to take a look around?
Yeah, sure. Kyle is a senior instructor at the Hank Haney Golf Academy, and they offer a full-time golf boarding school program with at least 20 hours a week of instruction, including mental and fitness training.
Not the most exciting stuff, but most important. You can do what we call an overlap, where you can just kind of see how you make a 90-degree angle.
So I start at...
Okay, you want to put your feet about shoulder width apart.
Yep.
That's it.
This is my first tee off. Let's see how well I do.
All right. I was waiting for that. I started moving back.
So embarrassing.
That's okay. Now you can give it a try. Go ahead.
Right.
There you go. All right. Nice. Good finish.
How long have you been teaching here?
I've been in Mission Hills Haikou here for about 1.5 years.
So how are you liking it here in Haikou?
I really like it. The Chinese, the people are just fantastic. They're real friendly to foreigners, and it's just like I was saying earlier, the excitement for golf. People are so excited about golf because it's so new here.
Now, what I'm going to show you right now is to our Mission Hill Spa and also volcanic mineral spring. As you can see, the entire building structure is inspired by UNESCO World Heritage Site, Fujian Tulo.
Yes,
have you heard of Fujian Tulo? Yes.
Yeah.
It's very unique. When you can see the entire rooftop, it's made of constructed by bamboos.
Yeah.
Bamboos with Chinese has a lot of meaning. As you can see, bamboos is one of the most popular items in China, so we make use of that, and a lot of foreigners, when they come over here, when they look at the roof, they will say, wow.
like it.
And also you can see a lot of volcanic rock. Now this area we built within the volcanic region with these resources, and we use it to construct our facade. Okay, you can see some of the design, we use a lot of the volcanic rocks.
Yeah, so this place is built on because Hainan is a largely... Mission Hills Haikou has the largest natural mineral springs reserve in Haikou, with 168 hot and cold springs and water features from the 5 continents. Tourists won't feel homesick and are spoiled for choice.
This is our hotel room. This is one of our presidential suite.
This is the best one you have?
Yes.
Wow.
We have total 518 rooms. And what we have here, very special, is the space. Yeah. This is 2 blacks.
Oh, look at this.
This is our golf course. Come, take a look. This is our black stone.
Next, we'll witness Hainan's undeveloped natural beauty and find out what makes Hainan such a bountiful place. Hainan has over 100 dormant volcanoes, and this is the only one that's open to public. So if you're interested in geology, this would be a good place to come to. This garden in the city is not only a good place to learn about Hainan's geology, it is also a place to learn about the local customs, traditions, and way of life. Take, for example, the act of entering a house. The Chinese believe in 男左女右, whereby a man enters with his left foot first, whilst the lady enters with her right. Hey, 这里怎么那么多缸啊？
这边的缸呢，就是因为咱们当地火山口地区它这火山石的原因，孔多漏水，当地存不住水，所以他们当地的村民呢会把缸放在屋檐底下架雨先接这个雨水，存这个雨水来喝。而当地的女孩子呢，要嫁给男生之前，她要先过来男方家去看她的缸，她的缸多，她才会嫁给这个男生；缸不多，她是不嫁。对，这边的一个婚嫁的习俗。
Speaking of the weather, Hainan's dry season is between November and April. So if you're traveling between May and October, do be prepared for some rain. We were just about 100 more steps to the top and it has started to pour. On a clear day, you could actually see a good view of Haikou from where we are. But well, it's still raining. 这里一般下雨多久啊？
一般海南呢，一般下雨呢不会下得特别久，都是局部雨或者是阵飘一下就过。
According to our guide, this park has more than 40 volcanoes. In fact, they are the best preserved volcanoes in China. Hence, they were awarded geopark status by UNESCO. Apparently, Hainan was shaped through extensive volcanic eruptions in the northern parts of the island about 13,000 years ago.
这底下就是火山口，但是由于今天下雨的缘故，所以呢，咱们是下不去的。如果下去了，下雨的话比较滑，
很危险，对吗？
对。
下次吧。The rich volcanic resources left from the eruptions gave Hainan its 5 treasures: fertile soil, vegetation, mineral water, hot springs, and hardy volcanic rock. You can climb up to the volcano's rim and look down into the crater, which is now full of greenery. The Hainanese appropriately call this place Haikou's green lung. Indeed. We've just arrived at the volcanic cave right next to the volcanic park. Now this place is pretty new. Not many tourists know about this place, and in fact we just found out about this and we're a little unprepared, so we need to get like torches and everything to prepare for the cave. And I hope they won't charge us too much because we all look like tourists. Looks like they've already negotiated a price. Let's go.
你几本买火把，买火把2块钱，2块钱跟稍后会跟您要一些，这样的，然后您带我们到路口。
They're speaking with a little bit of a Hainanese dialect. I don't quite understand, but I think it is about 2 yuan for a torch, which is quite reasonable. I don't feel that cheated, so that's good.
我们跟您买火把就可以了，然后我们会再给您买一些火把，您带我们进去就可以了。
So we've got 10 torches, and we've got this little uncle here to bring us to the cave. And well, this torch, one torch can last about an hour. I hope we will be out within an hour. It's over. If you're interested in a little adventure in these little-known caves and lava tunnels, you can take a bus to the Rongtang ancient volcanic village and find a local who's familiar with the area to guide you.
这是第一个，还有几个？
你时常都过来这里吗？
点火把，开始点火把，抬升器。
Okay, they're gonna light the torch right now because we're heading into the cave, which is really, really dark. And yeah, I do hope we will get out within an hour.
门没关呢，门都关。
哎，谢谢。要点这个吗？这全部点吗？
点了，对，好好好。
哎，小心小心。
还有谁要一个？谁要？来。
开始了。
好了。可以啊。
走了。
走吧。
This is so much more exciting than getting a torch light.
来，我们走吧。熔岩浆流淌下来的话呢，就是表层，它的顶部已经冷凝了，然后呢，下面的岩浆就是海水溶状态。
Some parts of the cave's completely black, so do make sure you watch your steps as it can be really, really slippery here as well. And do make sure you wear proper shoes so you don't trip over rocks. The light coming from these holes in the sky almost feels like it's a message from heaven, gently assuring us that we're on the right track. It's quite beautiful. Do watch your steps when you're here. It's really slippery. Okay.
来，小心，这里有一潭水。
哎，
这里有一潭水。啊，这里。
Due to the lack of time, we've only covered 4 parts out of the 70 caves. And when you're here, make sure you get a local to bring you around, as there are just too many caves here. You might just get lost. Our guide, Zhong Daye, has very kindly invited all of us to his village, which is made out of volcanic rocks. Now he is 92 years old, and he's really looking very strong. Perhaps by visiting the village, we will know the secret to longevity. Less than a kilometer away from the lava caves is the ancient volcanic village of Rongtang. This and other volcanic villages are only inhabited by a handful of elderly people. Most of the villagers have moved out to live in the surrounding residential area where the living conditions are better, or in the city. The remaining old folk gather outside every day, sit and chat, and sometimes offer to show curious visitors like us around for a small fee. I guess there's a combination of factors that contribute to these villages' longevity. The tough exercise they get from walking so far to fetch the well water, the mineral-laden groundwater from the well which they drink, and the vegetables from the fertile soil they eat, not forgetting their healthy communal life free from any urban pressures. This village is over 800 years old. As you can see, there are not many youngsters left. Hence, I think in about 10-20 years, this place might just be vacant. We've traveled 40 minutes southeast of Haikou to Yanfeng town. This is Hainan's largest mangroves protection zone. And the only way we can get there is by one of those boats. Let's go. Mangroves may not look like much, but they play a crucial role in our ecosystem, especially in the coastal areas where they serve as a buffer between land and sea, soaking up excess moisture in the air which prevents major storms and flooding. The mangrove forests also host a variety of life forms and are home to many different species of animals and plants. They even serve as an effective carbon sink, absorbing pollutants in the air. So I must say I was very happy to hear that Hainan actually has a protected area for its mangroves. Now at High Coast Mangroves Protection Zone. Now this is a very well preserved place. You can hear birds chirping, butterflies fluttering about, crabs scrambling, ducks paddling. It's a beautiful place to be in. Close to 60% of the world's mangroves have already been lost due to being cleared away for agriculture, timber, and urban development. So I think more countries should aspire to follow in Hainan's footsteps. According to locals, beneath this steady surface of water lie 72 villages which are submerged after an earthquake during the Ming Dynasty. Now, you can't actually see it here right now because the tide is rather high, but in September during autumn, the tide subsides and you can clearly see the entire village. From bustling streets and centuries-old villages to five-star luxury and learning about one of the world's most precious woods. This is just the tip of the iceberg of High Coast and the beginning of our journey. Do stay with us as we take you through the rest of Hainan. I'm Kaylee Lam from Travelogue, and I look forward to sharing so much more with you when we head to the central part of Hainan.